I'm Logan FROMME with the Backwoodsman Institute. Today in this video, I'm going to be talking about my passion, bow hunting whitetails. In specific, I'm going to be talking about shooting through brush and knowing whether you can make that shot or if you need to wait for another opportunity or act on something else. So that's what I'm going to talk about today, busting through the brush, threading your arrow through a pocket of brush or an overhanging limb. That's things you got to keep in mind when you're bow hunting, threading the needle, so to speak. Now when bow hunting, you got to think about your arrow's trajectory, and if any branches are in the way, it's going to kick your arrow off, resulting in a miss, or you can possibly wound the animal and you won't hit where you're intending to aim, resulting in a lost game or something of that nature. So you don't want that to happen. Now today, mostly be talking about bows with sights. I hunt with a recurve and a compound. Depending on where I set up, if I got a good recurve shot, I'll take my recurve. Or whatever mood I'm in that day, I'll take whichever bow. But mostly today, talking about bows with sights, because there's a quick, easy tip to know if you can poke through that brush or not. All right, right now it comes down to how you sight your bow in. I got a 20-yard pin at the top, 30, 40, and 50-yard pin. Now, using that to my advantage, that I know my pins, that's my trajectory of my arrow. At 20 yards, it's here, 30 yards, it's here, 40, 50, so on and so on. So knowing that, now you have to range estimate that deer. Now this deer is what I'm guessing 40 yards away. You can use your range estimation techniques or you can use a rangefinder, whatever. But I have that overhanging branch. That overhanging branch is halfway between that deer and me. So I'm guessing that to be 20 yards away. Now I'm going to pick up my bow with my sights. I'm going to put my 40-yard pin, which is my yellow, on the kill zone. And see my 20-yard pin at top is hitting that branch. It's hard for me to hold this steady with the camera, but you can see that. I'm not going to take that shot because at 20 yards, my arrow is going to be dead smack inside that branch. And it's going to result in me hitting that branch and spooking that deer or possibly missing or wounding him. So I'm not going to take that shot. So now knowing I cannot take this shot because at 20 yards, my arrow is going to impact that branch, what do? I can, one, wait for the animal to move, or two, act on it, drop to a knee, or vice versa. If you're kneeling, your pins won't line up, you can stand up. So you can act to take a shot. So I'm going to drop to a knee. All right, I just dropped the camera down to eye level in my kneeling position. I'm going to double check my pins. Put my 40 on the kill zone. And my 20 now, where that overhanging branch is underneath. So I'm going to be able to take this shot. All right, here we go from a kneeling position. All right, the arrow cleared. Now this is a perfect kill shot on a live deer. On a 3D archery target, don't get wrapped around them circles. Those circles are set up for scoring on 3D archery matches. Now those circles, that's a double lung shot up there, that circle. Now where I hit, I pick a spot right behind the shoulder blade, about halfway up the body. That way, if I'm anywhere off on my range estimation, let's say the deer is 3 yards farther than what I judged it, my arrow is going to drop down and it's going to hit the heart. Now, if he's closer, it's going to rise up and go into double lung. But let's say I aim right into double lung and he's 5 yards closer. I may go right over his back. So that's where I aim at, right behind the shoulder blade, midway up the body. That is a perfect kill shot on a live whitetail deer. All right, I just showed you how you can tell if your arrow trajectory is going to clear an overhanging branch. Now let's think about an opening in brush. It works the exact same way. Let's say there's an opening in the brush 20 yards away and your target's 40. As long as your 20-yard pin is in the opening, you can put it in there. Let's say the opening's 30 yards away or the overhanging branch is 30 yards away. Then you got to match up your 30-yard pin. And as long as it's clear, you're going to be able to put it right into your intended target. Now, I'm going to paint you another picture. Let's say we got a deer 40 yards away, and where you're looking at, you got a big branch that is covering the whole kill zone. But that branch is 20 yards away. Use the same techniques and check to see if your 20-yard pin is above or below the branch. If it's 40 yards away, it's going to be above. Then you're going to be able to go over that branch and hit your intended target right in the kill zone. So I'm going to show you that right now. Walk through the woods, you got a deer 40 yards away, you got a real thick branch 20 yards away, straight in the kill zone. Can you take that shot with a firearm? No. But with a bow, as long as your 20-yard pin is above that branch you can drop an arrow right into the kill zone of that deer at 40 yards. All right, this one's gonna be a little harder to show, but there's our deer at 40 yards. Bring up our pins. Put 40 yards on the kill zone, and our 20-yard pin clears by a mile. So we're gonna take this shot. I gotta put this tripod down, but I showed you my 20-yard pin clears, so I'm gonna take this shot, even though it's completely covered up. All right, here we go. Cleared over, dropped right into the kill zone. Well, there you have it. With a compound bow, use your pins to project your arrow's trajectory and see if you can shoot through that brush or that overhanging branch, see if it's going to clear. With a recurve, it's all about practice and visualizing the trajectory of your arrow. And like I said, that comes with practice. Get out here in the woods and shoot with overhanging branches in your way. Shoot through brush. You won't get that just at an archery range. So if you can, get to the woods and practice like this. So now you know how to thread needle through brush, shoot under or over an overhanging branch. This is going to make you put more ethical shots on the game you're after, thus in turn making you a better hunter. Hope you guys learned a lot from this video. Catch you in a bit.